everybody. Good evening. It's Dawn, Moonlight Princess. I wanted to do a quick video that I'm calling Tarot 101. The reason I wanted to put out this video is I know a lot of readers do things a lot different. I'm what I would call spirit taught or spirit led. I didn't research the internet. I didn't take classes. I literally was guided by spirit when it came to tarot. So my techniques are very, unique to me because I didn't learn them. Like I remember when I first started doing the tarot, I had the book out and I was trying to do all the crazy fancy spreads like the the Celtic cross and all these different spreads. And I remember hearing very clearly, stop, 3 cards. And one thing you'll learn about me, when I talk to spirit just like I'm talking to you, just like I'm talking to anyone else. And that's how I'll hear it too. Spirit will speak to you as if how they want you to understand. So if you're used to a certain way. So I remember looking up and saying, 3 cards. Yeah. And I specifically heard spirit say there was no need for fancy, crosses and everything else. The cards are cards. They're going to have the message. Spirit's message is going to be Spirit's message, whether you shape your cards in a cross, whether you flip them upside down 3 times and then do a back somersault, it don't matter. The message is going to be the message. I even told this to somebody one time before. I said, let me tell you something. I told this to a friend of mine. I said, I could pull 3 cards for you right now and not show them to you. And I could walk out of this room. And while I'm out, you could switch the cards. And when I come back, your message will be the same, I can guarantee you. Because whatever spirit wants you to know, you're going to know. Nothing is going to change that. I always tell people the cards don't lie. They don't. I am very, very, very accurate. And I don't even like to say I because my gift comes from Creator. So I give all my thanks and all my gratitude to Spirit and Creator. So I'm blessed to be a messenger and someone that can help people. But the message is there. The cards don't lie. Spirit don't lie. So whatever message you're meant to get, you'll get. So I don't do any fancy trickery with the cards. I let Spirit tell me how many cards to throw down, and then I just take the message from there. And a lot of times, I don't even ask. I mean, like there are times people will say, well, this is my question. And that's fine. But if it's a general kind of reading, or even, I'll just say, don't even tell me what you want to know. Let the cards just talk. Because then, there's no way you get called out and all, well, you kind of knew what no. And there are times, even if there is a question involved, I'll tell the person, you know what, just don't even tell me what your question is. Just hold it in your head. And then when I'm done, I'll say, so did it answer your question? And I'm telling you, there's never been one time where I heard no. Every time I'm like, yes. And, I tell people a lot, anybody can be a card reader. Anybody can get a tarot deck and shuffle the cards and throw them out there and pick open the book that it comes with and tell you what it says. And they're going to be right because again, the cards don't lie, Spirit don't lie. However, the difference between somebody just doing that and someone like me and others out there that do this, actual clairvoyants, psychics, people that connect to the other side. The difference is when I do my reading, yes, I'll sit there and I may, for certain decks, because certain decks are different, I may open a book or I may have to access my resources online because there are a lot of cards and each card has a lot of meanings. So take that into consideration also. So I may have to access the same information as the other people. However, with me and with people like me that are clairvoyant, chances of extra stuff popping through is usually what happens. Or when I describe the situation, the same situation as probably the other person, chances are mine's going to be a lot more detailed. And you're going to be like, what? Whoa, how did you know? I don't know how. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know. Spirit has no filter. Therefore, I have no filter. And I'm going to warn you now. And I tell that to people all the time, especially when I meet them. I'm like, look, there might be a time that my mouth opens and stuff will start coming out. And I promise you, I'm going to apologize in advance. I said, I'm going to apologize in advance for something that may come out of my mouth. Because, again, I remember in the beginning when my gifts really started coming out, I would feel like something trying to push words out of my mouth and I'd fight it. Can't do that. Nope, can't do that. Now I speak it because if Spirit wants it to be known, I do not argue with Spirit. I speak it, and then sometimes I don't even get a chance to think about it. It just comes out. So I apologize in advance for that because Spirit has no filter, so I have no filter. And so sometimes things can just pop out a little, not harsh, but just kind of like, whoa, how did you know that? I don't know. So that's the difference. But I love what I do. I love that I help people. So I have never gotten a reading from like a professional. That's the funny thing. Like I've gotten readings from people I know in my circle, which again, professional, because anytime you get paid for anything, you're considered a professional. But I mean like, in the shops or something. I've never done that. So I never knew how a reading was done. So I still have never done it. So I don't know if my techniques are going to be a little different than others, but I can promise you, you're going to get the same or better results. Again, I love what I do. I love helping people. So I wanted to give a little, brief thing because I know some people get confused with the tarot or like what I was saying before. Each card has several meanings. So unless Spirit specifically guides me, and there are times Spirit will be like, don't worry about that. Skip over that garbage. I'll hear that. Skip over that garbage. It doesn't pertain to this person. Again, there's a difference between me and someone just flipping cards and opening a book. I actually will hear that. Skip over that. Or I'll hear, go up that. That's it right there. And then I know just deal with that situation. But each card does have several meanings. So I don't like to assume your situation. I will never assume your situation. I will read you each meaning of the card, unless, again, Spirit says different. I'm going to read you and explain to you each meaning. Now, it's not because each one, this one card could say I have 10 different meanings. Does it mean everyone is you? No, not. It could be. It could be that's how busy your life is going and you got all these situations. It could be one or two of them is pertaining to you. So when I read a card to you or to anyone, if I'm listing off just what the card is and then I'll throw details in, but you never take it as, oh, that's all me. Oh, no. You have to resonate with it. And that's where it comes in. I'm going to tell you what this card means because Spirit is telling me that this card is for you. But now your job is to listen to what I have to say and grab what resonates with you. And if it resonates with you, well, there you go. If nothing resonates with you, then two things are happening. Either one, you're just really in denial because I'm telling you, or it's possible that you're being given a message for someone else, or you're being taught, Spirit is speaking to you about someone in your life. So sometimes I'll be reading a card and the card will be like, oh, this card represents someone who's a egotistical son of a bitch, let's just say, and you're going to sit there. I don't want you to sit there going, how dare you? No, I'm not. No, the card, just because it's your card I'm reading for you doesn't mean it's about you. It could be talking about your boss. It could be talking about your husband. It could be talking about your wife. So no matter, I just say, listen to what I say because it could be about you. Maybe you are an egotistical son of a bitch. But the point is, just listen because it could be about you, it could be about somebody that you know, or it could be about none of the above. But what I say is if it's about none of the above, never throw it away. Take it and put it in what I call your mental junk drawer, okay? Because a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times I've had clients tell me that they put it aside and then like 2 weeks later, 2 months later, whatever the case is, they'll get a phone call, someone will come by and visit, and whoever they're talking to will be like, "You're not gonna believe this, blah 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 blah," and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh shit, that reading, it was you." So sometimes it's actually a message for someone else, and it'll be like validation. The spirit has little ways to validate things, so just little things like that. Again, I don't know how other readers do it. So I just wanted to give a little rundown on how I do it. So when you're hearing a reading, or if you ever request one from me, you'll get a good idea of how it's done. And just have fun. Readings should never be gloomy, doomy, and speaking of death, I'm going to tell you that right now. If anyone's telling you, oh yeah, you're going to die, walk away. Walk away. For example, the death card is a card not literally of death. It's actually the reverse. It's a card that speaks of new life and new beginnings. So I will never, and the only time a card is, and I hate using the word negative, I hate that, because the only time a card will say something negative is if it's telling you, hey, you're kind of drifting a little bit, we need to get you back on track, or if the card is trying to warn you. Like, hey, you're going through a period where, you're going to hit some financial situations, so please save your money. Or, hey, you're in a situation where there's somebody talking a lot of smack about you. Watch your back. The cards are just going to warn you. They're never going to say, you're about to die, so don't drive. No. So I want people to know, because a lot of people get freaked out when I say, hey, do you want a reading? They're like, no. It's like, what do you think I'm going to tell you? Don't freak out like that. Cards aren't meant to be used that way. You can use them that way, but that's when you bring integrity into play. So, and ethics. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this. I hope this wasn't too long. I really just wanted you to get a feel of me, my energy, and what I do. This was regarding tarot specifically. And even if I'm doing a face-to-face, just talking and I read you. So it's kind of the same stuff. Just take it for what it's worth, and trust spirit, and trust your message. And with that, I'll end it now, because that's been going on almost 13 minutes. 13, I love that number. So until the next time in the next video, I wish you all joy, justice, love, and blessings. I love each and every one of you.